all right. What's going on, party people? Give y'all a moment to slide on up in here. You'll probably hear some airplanes in the background. I'm out here in Virginia Beach by the airport, the military airport, Oceana. So had a nice little shaded tree here, so I figured I'd pull over, pick me up some food. So you'll hear a little noise in the background. Sorry about that. So hopefully it doesn't drown me out too much. What's going on, Joy B? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Let me straighten that up a little bit there. All right. So, hey, what's going on, Ashley Key? What's going on now? All right, cool. Yeah. As the title says, decision time. I'm doing good, Amit. Good to see. I know my man Amit is killing it out there in California. What's going on, Rachel? What's going on? What's going on? I'm doing good. Today is a good day. Just enjoying myself, enjoying life, everything. Thank you. I'm glad you learned some stuff from me. Thank you. Yep. Happy Friday. Yep. It is truly decision time. It's decision time. It's time for you as a notary, as a business owner, to make up your mind how you gonna run this business. You know, I've been doing the notary stuff for 3 years and on YouTube and everything for the last 4. And I tell you, I've never seen an industry that has had so much other stuff that doesn't pertain to notary go on and distracting people. And I said, you know, people, it's time for y'all to make a decision. And it's a decision that I had to make for my own self. Years ago, I had to make a decision. Am I really going to do this business? And am I going to do this business based off of other people? Thank you, Ms. Gordon. Thank you. And it's time for you to make a decision on how you plan on running this business. Yeah, I do offer training. But here, and if you go to griffintnotary.com/webinar, in the other videos that I did earlier this week, you'll see the link. There's some classes left, some seats left for the one tonight. So griffintnotary.com/webinar. Right now, in my opinion, it is time for you to make a decision on whether you're going to put your all into this business, or you're just going to put part of you into this business. Whatever you're going to put in this business, it's time for you to make that decision. It's time for you to stop running around all over the place looking for people to handhold you. It's time for you to stop running around and good afternoon, and you're welcome. It's time for you to make a decision for yourself. Stop looking for other people to make the decision for you on whether you do this business and how you do this business. Y'all have 1,000% more information than what I came into this business with. But people are not making the decision to do the business. The decisions that a lot of people have made, yet slow down. I would talk about that, and it's not about being oversaturated. Everybody keeps using that. In my opinion, they're using that as an excuse. What's going on, Tracy? They're saying because it's slow, oh, then it must be oversaturated. What has happened is people have made the decision to run after the big bucks rather than become a good notary. And because people have made the decision to run after all that money, to run after the glitz and the glam, to run after trying to be mentors, to run after trying to have training systems, to run after this and run after that, and fail to become good notaries, it has caused problems in the industry to where loans aren't getting processed, people are losing money, talking about the signing companies and the title companies and the lenders, as well as the homeowners, the people refinancing and buying, that, yeah, in some cases, they're like, hey, you know what, we're just going to use the people we need. They're making a decision to use the people who they're comfortable with, and they might not necessarily want to use you being new. It's not slowed down for me. I still did 32 signings last month, even though I took time off. I'm already booked out to the 21st of this month. So it hasn't slowed down. The question is whether or not you are in a position to receive those orders. What decision have you made? Did you change your profile like I was sharing with you? You should. Have you made sure that you understand how to notarize? Are you focused on that part? Or are you just focused on all of this other stuff? That's good. Did your first notice? Can't wait to, yeah. And the decision you got to make now is, can I do this business? And do I want to do this business for the next 3 to 5 years? If you do, you need to get your notarial mindset correct. And a lot of people do not have the notarial mindset. They just have the hustler mindset. I'm going to just go out here and hit this thing and get what I can. You're not going to be successful to the level you want to be. I was reading instructions today for a signing that I picked up. It clearly said that if you don't do certain things the way they're asking you to do them, they were going to reduce your fee. And one of the, it was scan backs. They said if you don't scan back, and it's required for them to scan you, for us to scan back. And if you don't scan back, guess what they said they're going to do? They're going to do one of two things. They're going to reduce your fee, or they're no longer giving you assignments. So let's look at it this way. If you've been doing signings and you haven't been doing scan backs, and you've been going off of what they told you on Facebook, guess what? You ain't getting orders. Another thing, everybody keeps talking about upcharging, negotiating. I've been told by at least 5 people, men and women, they try to negotiate additional fees, and guess what? They stopped getting orders. There's a time for that. But if you're trying to do notary work, loan closings between 8 and 5, when everybody else is up and running around taking orders, and then you sit there and see an $85 order, and then you turn around and say, well, oh, I want 110. There's somebody out there that's going to take the 85. And people, I've known people, they've sat there and countered on every single order. And guess what? They haven't gotten a one. One lady told me she was getting orders. Everything was coming fine. She was making money. And then she started asking for $5 and $10 more. And the number of orders that she was getting offered dwindled. But people still keep doing it, thinking that, oh, I got to get a little bit more, a little bit more. Get good at where you're at. Work the system where it's at, and then grow and move. But we don't want to do that. We want to get the big money. We see all the big money that people are talking about that they're making, and they're not being true and genuine with you. They got hookups in some cases. They got people feeding them work. They was already doing some of this stuff and just switched over. What's going on, Gigi? And y'all are believing the hype. And that's the hurtful part to me, is that so many of y'all have believed the hype. And then some of the people who are feeding you the hype, oh, they're doing good. Everybody's doing good here. You're believing the hype. You believe somebody, some man, some woman sitting up there saying that you can make all this money in an industry you didn't even know existed. And you just hopped up and jumped in it without even doing your due diligence and saying, I'm gonna make that same money, spent all this money, and then you're being told, don't take orders, don't do this, don't do that. But then they constantly keep telling you how much you gotta pay. And then you're sitting here like, I ain't making no money. And every time you go to try to take an order, they're telling you, nah, don't do that. Don't take that order. But then they got their hand out asking you for more and more mental money. More and more, buy my this order. Buy my that money. Buy my this. Buy my that. It's decision time, y'all. For some of you, the decision now is whether you're going to stay in this business or you're going to get out. I told my sons many years ago, if you don't do what you need to do in a particular industry, you ain't got to leave. It'll put you out. It'll put you out because you're not doing what is required to stay in. And I know a lot of people think that I'm being arrogant and narcissistic and all of that. But to me, it's very narcissistic for a person who's only been in this business a little while to turn around and tell you to pay them for their knowledge and education when they've only been in for a little while. And I don't understand that. And then tell you, yeah, follow me on my journey, even though I don't know anything, but I still want you to pay me. I want you to pay me as I try to figure this thing out. And I'll share with you what I learned. But in the meantime, you still need to pay me. That is narcissistic. That's narcissistic. That's the sign of a scammer. That's the sign of somebody that ain't got their mind right. And so many notaries have just, or individuals who become notaries have just fallen into this, okay, they said it, then I'm just going to believe it. And nobody is trying to even challenge anybody or make anybody do what's right or prove what they're saying is right or call them out when they find out that they were wrong. But yet you've made the decision to whine and complain about whether somebody's taking a $60 order. Whine and complain about whether somebody drove 2 hours for an order while you sitting on your butt not making any money, while you still paying somebody who don't care nothing about you $300-400 a month for their platinum membership, and you ain't getting nothing in return. And we are to use a journal. We are to use a journal. In Virginia, we're not required to, but for the loan signings, and the NNA tells us, this is what I'm talking about. You're going to have to make a decision to stop listening to these charlatans. If you don't, if you continue going down the road of listening to these unproven individuals, you will be in an unproven state. Your life will be unproven. And you will just have a bunch of heavy duty paperweights of all that equipment, that you purchased. And it will kill your motivation to do the next thing that you possibly can do. And that's the hurtful part, to see so many people listening to this foolishness. And in your heart of hearts, you know something ain't right with what they're saying. You know something is off with them. You know they're not genuine. You know all they care about is getting your money. And then you continue to give it to them, thinking that this time it will be different. This $500 I give them, it'll change them and they'll do better. And they're not. For me, it ain't about what's in my bag anymore. It's not about all of that. It's about you stop getting taken advantage of. It's time for you to make a decision on which direction you're going to go in this business. There's some of you who can put in the time and commitment to do this business, but you won't. And then there's some of you who can put in the time and commitment to do this business, but you're not able to. You're not able to because of your life structure, how your family is, your job, and all of these other things, these accessories in your life, or these primary things that's in your life that you can't do. You can't put your all into the business like you want. Well, my question is simply this. For those of you who can but won't, the question is, when will you? For those of you who can but are not able to, who have the desire to, who are willing to but just not able to, the question is, how will you? You got to figure a way to make it happen. When I started this business, I had to find a way to make it happen. I had to find a way to get in there and make it happen. We had one car going through bankruptcy, kids playing golf, kids doing gymnastics. I had to find a daggone way to make this work. And I couldn't sit there and use, well, I ain't this smart, I ain't that smart, I don't know computers, I don't know, I'm not that good at speaking, I'm not that good at writing, dot, dot, dot. All of these excuses, I had to say, how can I make this work? Understand where my weakness is at. Understand where I'm lacking at. And then strengthen them and use what I do have and work with the strengths that I do have and make it work. That's what I had to do. That's what I had to do. Go to work early. Take a long lunch and take an order. Go to work early so you can get off early and take an order. I got 17 days of vacation time. Take 3 days off and do some orders. That's the kind of stuff that I did. That's the kind of stuff that I did. We had one car, still using one car, no problem. I go and rent another car just so my wife can have a car to go do what she needed to do, and then I can go do notary while I'm taking a vacation from work, just so I could do the notary. That's the kind of stuff that I did. That's the commitment level that you have to have for anything, not just the notary. And if you're a person that just wanted to be handed to you, you're not going to be successful in this business. And I know people don't want to hear that. Everybody wants to hear the middle of the road speech, the middle of the road examples, the middle of the road everything. Well, being in the middle of the road will get you ran over. Go stand in the middle of the road and watch how quick you get hit. You got to go with the flow of the traffic, but you got to make sure the flow that you're going with is the correct flow. Sometimes you got to get off on the right exit. I've been putting detour signs for y'all up there, exit ramps for y'all to get off and being a good notary, because being a good notary, you will be able to do this business for a long time. And I see y'all just keep passing by the exit. I keep putting the exit up. Then I run ahead of you and I put another exit up. Yeah, that's nice, Grill, but I'm going for the 10 grand. I'm going for the 20 grand. I'm going for $600 a order, $300 an order. You're doing all of that. But at the same time, you're telling people, don't take this order. You're running after people. Stop doing that. You're hurting me. There ain't nothing a notary can do to hurt you except do bad notarial work. What I collect in money, what they collect in money, what he has nothing to do with you. You didn't join this industry. You didn't become a notary because you was looking at, well, Griffin doing it. I want to see what Griffin. No, you did it because of you. You had a reason and you did it. And now you're letting all of this other stuff distract you from that. That's why I keep saying you're not going to be successful. When you look at the billionaires out here, they tell Jack Welch, one of the GM guy, he went in there and he told people straight up, you're fired. Because they hadn't done anything to improve and make themselves better. So he said, you know what, we might as well just go on and get rid of y'all now. Because you ain't do nothing back then, you probably ain't gonna do nothing now. And I'm about to make some changes and that I know you're not gonna like. So guess what? I might as well just gonna let you go. And he got rid of thousands of people and turned that business around. I think it was with GM or either Ford. I forget which one. Y'all got to get your mind right. Listen to my man Eric Taylor. I don't know him personally, but in my comments, in my community tab, I got a video up there about being on a hunt, about being in beast mode. You got to be on the hunt. And many of you, you're just sitting back. You're just sitting back waiting, hoping that something comes across your path. And just enough that you just want to reach out just a little bit. You got to be that. Eric Taylor has a great, not Eric Thomas. Eric Thomas, keep saying Taylor. There's a guy I know locally who does violin, that's named Eric Taylor. Eric Thomas, motivational speaker. He has one called UOU. Y'all need to look that up. Look that up. Do some work. I'm not giving y'all the links to this stuff. You need to do the work yourself, because too many of you been spoon-fed for so long that you don't know what to do. You don't know what to do. Almost like that movie Wall-E, where everybody was just laying around in the thing and got all fat and got so heavy. And it's not about fat people, but just got so out of shape that they didn't even have the bone structure anymore because they just laid around. Look at that movie Wall-E. That's what notaries have become a lot of times, like in the movie Wall-E, and got everybody else doing stuff for them and they won't do for themselves. Look up Eric Thomas and listen to his videos. And if that doesn't motivate you, if that doesn't inspire you, if that doesn't show you that you got to have a mind change, then nothing will. There's no amount of training. There's no amount of platinum membership plans. There's no amount of mentorship will ever get you to the point where you're going to do it for yourself. I had to make up my mind. Before the pandemic, I had already made up my mind to do this business, and I was going to leave in July of 2020. And when the pandemic hit, I had to make a decision to stay at that job a little longer. Why? Because the industry shifted to the point where all the orders was being done during the daytime. Before the pandemic, the orders was being done at night because everybody was working, and I was out to 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night doing closings. Then all of a sudden, there was no closings at 5 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, because they was all being done during the daytime. Why? Because everybody was home. Then I had to adjust and shift, and I had to start going to work early. Then I had, instead of getting off at 4 o'clock or so, I had to start getting off at 3 o'clock so I could catch those orders. I had to start taking more weekend orders in order for me to still make the money. I had a decision to make, and I made it to do this. Okay, let me adjust and shift, and then come back and do more work at my W-2, which will keep me up till midnight and 3 in the morning sometimes, and then get back up at 7 o'clock the next morning, and boom, and do it all over again. For about 4 months, I was operating on 4 hours of sleep a day. I'm not saying you got to do what I did, but if you're not willing to do what you need to do, there's a wonderful comedian named Ryan Davis. He recently put a video out. Look him up, Ryan Davis. He recently did a video talking about people asking him to mentor them. And he listed a whole litany of things that if you're not willing to do this, then I ain't mentoring you. I'm not going to mentor you. That's what he said. Because are you willing, he said, to go into a studio and do all right, call you Terry. All right. Not many people, he said, how can you deal with going into a studio, doing a line over and over again for like 17 hours for a sitcom or a TV show just for them to cut you out and not even show your face? You get paid, but they don't even show what you did, and you killed it, and you did everything right. Are you willing to do that? Nobody told me I had to commit to doing 4 hours of sleep a night, but I did it. I get more sleep, probably about the same now in some cases, but I did what I had to do. I made a decision to make this business work. Okay, you sent me an email last night, I'll check it. And I will say, for everybody who has been sending me emails and notifications, my apologies. Y'all know the last 3 weeks, 4 months, or a month or so, I've been busy getting the wife straight. But I'm going to try to take time out and respond to each and every person. If you got my numbers, feel free to hit me up, text me and all of that, and everything. But you got to make a decision whether you're going to do this business for real. And if you're not, that's okay. That's okay. Whatever you're going to do, own it. Whatever you're not going to do to be successful, own it. If you can't own your decision, that's like you not making a decision. Own it. And too many of you right now aren't owning it. You want somebody to make the decision for you. You want somebody to tell you it's okay to make that decision. Make the decision. Make the decision. There was people I told about this business. They laughed at me. They put me down. I said, you know what? Bump it. I told my sons, I said, hey, look, y'all grown now. Dad got to do what he got to do. If you need me, hit me up. But I ain't going to be monitoring you. Just don't do nothing crazy. I told the wife, hey, babe, you know I got your back, but I got to do this thing. I see it can work. If you need me, let me know. I might not be at home at night, and I'm coming home. I'm working an 8-hour day, leaving work at 3 or 4 o'clock, and then turning around and boom, going into 4 or 5 signings between 5 and 10 o'clock at night. Come home, give them my time and energy, be with them, all of that, and then get back up and do it all over again. That's the decision I made, and it paid off. Some decisions that you make to get you to where you need to be are decisions that you only have to do for a short amount of time. But it will last, the results, the benefit, the residual will last a lifetime. People always talking about residual income. Do investing a little and getting a lot. First, do that for you. You invest your time and your energy into it. And see, here's the sad thing. Here's the sad thing. Here's the sad thing. Here's the sad thing. A lot of these people out here who are pushing products to y'all, who are telling y'all this, who are telling you not to even take orders and stuff, secretly, they're doing what I've done. They out there working that sucker. They taking them orders. They telling you not to take them, but they're taking them. They ain't paying somebody to be a mentor, but yet you're paying them. It doesn't matter what training system I use. You need to do the NNA. I'm going to tell you straight up, take the NNA. Those other training systems, primarily are teaching you how to run the business. But what good does it do for you to learn how to run a business if you don't know how to do the business of notarizations? Everybody's worrying about the training system, this person, that person, all of that. That doesn't matter. If you don't know how to notarize, you're going to be on the sideline. Your training system, certification, and all of your equipment. That is the truth. There are some good ones out there, but you need to understand simply this. If they're not going to teach you directly how to do the notarization stuff, then you need to go to the NNA first. Go get the NNA first, learn what you're supposed to state, and then go seek out them about the business side. What purpose does it do to have anybody's certification in your profile when that certification is primarily about the business? And you go to a signing company talking about I'm this, going to an escrow company talking about that, and you don't know jack about how to notarize. I feel you there, 302. That's where this is at. I've talked to multiple signing companies and some lawyer firms, and they have told me directly they're not looking for us to be out here as to take on their role. The NNA themselves, if you take their training, the NNA themselves says that we are not representing, we're not in the role of a title officer, escrow officer, none of that. That's what the NNA says. That is not what we're there to do, to take on their role. Legally, we are unbiased. And you got to make a decision how you want to be as a notary. If you want to do all of that, then be an escrow officer, be a title officer, be a loan officer. Stay in your lane. Stop leaking over into somebody else's arena when that is not your responsibility. That's what I train, Tracy. That's what I try to help notaries out to do. Now, if you want to start sharing stuff after you've become an expert, very proficient in notarizing documents, that's on you. That should be the number one thing you need to know, how to notarize documents. That's the decision that you need to make. And if you, thank you very much, and if you cannot make that decision, if you're struggling, and many people keep calling me, well, what if I do it this way? What if I do it that way? Well, I've been studying and researching. What are you studying and researching? Well, how to do the documents and how to lay them out and present them and not. Okay, what do you know about notarizations? Hey, what's going on, Laura? Do you even understand the elements of a notarization that your state says is supposed to be in each notarial act? If you don't understand that and you see a notarial statement, you don't know what to do. What's going on to True Life? Everything's good. It's time for you to make a decision. It's time for everybody. Because I'm telling you, these folk ain't playing. These folk ain't playing. All right, Spirit Journey. I got class going on from 8:30 to about 10:30, which we know they end up being till midnight and 2 in the morning. But hit me up. I got a 2 o'clock appointment today and then a 6:30. So if you're going to call me, it'll probably be best to call me between 3 and 5. Because as soon as my 6:30 is over, I'm going straight into my training stuff this evening. Then I'm probably not going to be available to talk until then, unless you are in a closing and you need help. Hit me up. Hit me up. I care about y'all. I care about y'all's success in this business. I'm not opposed to anybody having a training system. I'm not opposed to anybody having a mentor thing. But what I'm opposed to is that what they're having you to pay for is not geared to you being a good notary. If I'm going to pay for something and then you tell me, oh, to really do the job, go over here. That's like going to college and for a degree in engineering. Yeah, you took all these classes with my college, but guess what? To really get your engineering degree to graduate, you got to go over here. Well, why you didn't tell me that in the first place? You got me going to such and such university when all I had to do was go to ECPI. Hold up, what's up with that? All I had to do was go to this here night class, this technical trade class, and get us, and I would have been, and I could have got been working. That's messed up. I don't like the concept of people telling you not to make money and worried about the amount of money you making affecting them. If you are as good as you say you are, you don't have to worry about somebody's money, what somebody else is doing, messing you up. So what somebody want to do or order for $60 or whatever. Here's the thing, as I said before, everybody keep crying about this here $60 thing, and that really does bug me. But yet everybody keeps saying, go to these different signing companies, sign up with these different companies that notoriously that don't pay $100. So you're telling me to go over here, but then you're whining and complaining that I'm doing it and making money. That doesn't make sense. And what that tells me is that you yourself don't have enough signings in your life to keep you off of social media so you can be trolling people to find out, well, were you getting paid? Were you getting paid? How much you making? How much you making? Y'all don't do that when you're doing Uber or Lyft or any of that kind of stuff. Y'all just out there hustling. Y'all just doing your thing. Don't worry about it. What you get, what you charge is what you charge. That's it. What's going on, TX for you? I love y'all. I'm serious. And I'm gonna do everything I can. Again, and I made a decision even myself. I said, you know what? I was trying to help some people on Facebook. I left. I stopped certain groups in Facebook. I left because I got tired of people cussing at me. And see, that tells me right there that you ain't gonna do good in this business. You in a Facebook group, supposed to be professionals and stuff. And yeah, I get it that you're going to disagree with somebody. And yeah, I get it that you want to make a point. But at the end of the day, you got to But you got to cuss at them. You got to cuss at them. And then you younger than me, same age as my kids, and you think I'm going to put up with that? Nah. And I'm not trying to be mean here, but I will say this here to those of you who run Facebook groups, y'all got to clean that up. If this is supposed to be you got to clean that up. And I'm gonna be even real with you. It's our people. This our people doing this mess, treating people that way. And then you want somebody to march with you. I'm gonna just leave it at that. But we got to stop that, and we got to clean this mess up. We are doing this to each other. People trying to move forward, and we getting in here with all of this foolishness. We are the ones sitting up here bragging the most about all of this illegal, wrong stuff that we're doing, and then sitting up here begging people to pay us for mentorship. That don't make a lick of sense. And then when somebody, whether me or somebody else, tries to come with something practical that can help, you get mad and you get offended and you get scared. And I'm gonna tell you why. The reason why is because you are planning on taking advantage of people, and somebody is speaking against, and you don't like that. So if somebody speaking against that, and that's why I keep saying, you attack whether me or anybody else who takes a sub $100 offer, but yet you won't say anything to the person who's charging $500 for mentorship, and they don't even know nothing themselves. Why won't you go after that? You don't go after something that you want to become. You want to become the person who's charging people this insane amount of money so you can get paid, so you ain't really got to go do notary stuff. You can sit back on your butt and say, I'm a baller. But when somebody talks about doing stuff responsibly and respectfully and correctly and going out there working hard and making money, oh, you got a problem with that. You got a problem with that. And I don't know if it's your home training or what have you. And I expect to get a whole lot of thumbs downs on this starting at this point. But I don't care, because you're messing with people's lives. And people are trying to go out here and do their best and make a living for their family. And you're sitting up here charging them money and ain't offering them jack. That don't make sense. Charging people for every little thing and calling it my stream of income. It's your stream of scam. That's what it is. It's a stream of scam. Let that hashtag that. Stream of scam. That's what it is. You're scamming people. You're not making money from people from the standpoint of I'm offering something and I get something of quality in return. You are making money off people. You are scamming people. You're taking advantage of people because you're not giving them anything solid in return. When whatever you're giving them, if 80% or more of what you're giving them can't even be used by that person to be successful, something's wrong. When what you're telling them doesn't work in their state, something's wrong. But you're telling them, pay me, pay me, pay me. And it's up to you as the business owner. It's up to you as the individual doing this business, just starting out. You got to protect what you've invested in. I talked to a title company yesterday about document explaining and all of that, and who's behind it, and what they expect out of us. They told me straight up, in an attorney state like New York, the moment you start reading the document, that's giving legal advice. Here's what you need to do. You need to ask the signing company, what do they want you to do as far as explaining the documents? How deep do they want you to go? What are the state rules and regulations about you as a notary opening your mouth and talking about the documents? And the company that I was talking to, the lady, she works for a company down here, but she's based in New York. And I've done well over maybe 200 signings for them. So they know me very well on a first name basis. And I just asked her, when we present these documents, she's like, that ain't what we asking you to do. We're not hiring you to present. We're asking you to witness the signatures and sign and make sure the documents get notarized so it can get recorded correctly. That's what we're paying you to do. And I've heard that multiple times from different companies. And then I did hear from another company, well, we want you to go all in detail about it. And I asked them, I said, you want us to go in full detail? And they told me, yeah. And I said, okay. So how do you expect the person who just started, who ain't even done 5 signings, to be able to efficiently go in detail about a document when there's no training out there that goes that deep into it? And they just got quiet on me. Well, that's just what we expect. Okay, got it. Thank you very much. And I've done over 100 signings with them. And I'm like, I'm concerned about y'all getting, I'm like, that's going, and then you're getting mad that somebody did something wrong or said something wrong. I'm like, shh. We got to be real. And I understand people want to be bougie and all uppity and want to feel like they're, special because they can share and they know this, that, and the other about the documents. But let's just be real. Right. That's what I'm saying. You got to know what that state. I mean, because people keep coming at me talking about, well, as long as you don't go over, go beyond and say something that's legal advice. Well, then what is legal advice? The NNA says if you go beyond what they give you in their scripts, then that's considered the unauthorized practice of law. So anybody who's training you, in my opinion, should be training you within the guidelines of the NNA. That's what they should be doing. If they're training you on how to present the documents and it's not within the guidelines of making sure you're not giving legal advice, or it's just based off of their experience from however many years they've been in the industry, this, that, and the other, and it's truly not state specific, then they need to stop that and just do what the NNA says. Just do what the NNA says, go by this, because that's where we all getting certified. We're all getting certified over there, but we're trying to do something from somebody who's teaching us some stuff over here. And that doesn't make sense. That's like getting that's like going to McDonald's for a burger, getting your food from McDonald's and then trying to pay Burger King. Say, here, Burger King, McDonald's going, whoa. No, you pay us. So you're going to the NNA, but then you giving everybody else kudos about, yeah, I'm this, I'm that, because of what they trained me. But you ain't doing what the NNA said. I'm telling y'all, I ain't out here for popularity. I ain't out here for YouTube money and all of that stuff. See, the people that's trying to make money off of the YouTube, they're going to be middle of the road. And they're going to get you hit. They're going to get you ran over. You on one side or the other. You go in this direction or that direction. You go with the flow of the traffic. In the middle of the road, that ain't where you need to be at. You got to make a decision. And now I'm hearing some of these YouTube notaries and all of that starting to retire, starting to bounce out, which I already knew what a lot of them was doing, getting up to the point where they can get monetized and then switch over to something else. That's why I said they pandemic notaries. I ain't trying to be funny, but I mean, know what you're being fake. Yeah, I mean, if you for real, stick with it. But the moment, if you look at it as a side hustle, the moment you're no longer making that side hustle money, I'm out. Let me get on to the next thing and carry these subscribers with me, and hopefully, they'll stick with me. And if anybody is retiring out of being a notary, and they haven't even been doing this a year or whatever, and they talking about, yeah, I'm giving it up, I'm moving on. and you've been paying them for mentorship, I will have to have a conversation with them about that. I will have to have a serious conversation. Wait a minute. You told me that you was going to help me, and now you bouncing? You bouncing. All right. All right. Somebody might be getting a knock on the door. Yo, we got to have a talk. That ain't right. 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 I'm serious. And that really hurts. And again, people come across more pristine than me, more polished than me, might almost look better than me. All of that, talk better than me. Don't go down rabbit holes like I do when I'm talking with y'all like me. They stay on point in there. But then they leaving after they done got so much money from you. That ain't right. That ain't right. That mess ain't right. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That ain't right. You know, that's why I said, if they ain't been doing this at least 3 years, in my opinion, they don't need to be trying to mentor nobody. They don't need to be trying to train nobody. They don't need to be trying to do nothing. They need to be trying to learn it for themselves. If you can't see yourself doing this for 5 years, you don't need to be trying to extract money from people like you got it all going, and then you realize, oh, I ain't getting the 110 no more than 125. I'm only getting 85. You know, yeah, I just recently heard it. I don't even know who that guy is personally. I mean, I just heard that name a couple of weeks ago. My thing is this: a lot of people are out there. They know that some of you will not do what it takes to be successful, to the point of you're being somewhat lazy, and they're taking advantage of your laziness and offering you stuff to continue to feed you being lazy. And they will continue to feed you stuff. May not be the right stuff, but they'll continue to feed you stuff as long as you're willing to pay them. And they will have discussions and saying, hey, you know, it's up to you to do it, but keep paying me. You know, and lastly, y'all got to start really paying attention, reading instructions and listening, especially for the stuff that I'm putting out, because there have been people that they will look at a video and then call me and ask me about how to do something. And I'm like, I put a video out about that. Yeah, I saw it, but I want you to tell me. I want you to show me how to do it. Okay, the video showed you. Yeah, I know. Yeah, man, I know. But I want to hear it from you. There's nothing to hear from me. I've already told you in the video. And I get it now. If there's a legitimate thing that you read and you don't truly understand, see, that people a lot of times, they're not calling and asking me something specific based off the video. They're asking me to give them and do everything that's in the video. Like, show me how to do this. Show me the doc prep. Show me the printer. Show me this. Show me that. And I'm like, but the video says it. The video has it in there. After you look at it, if there's something that's missing, let me know, and then I can do it. I can redo something. But if you gain the knowledge, if you looked at something and you gain the knowledge, and then you sit there and say, okay, well, I'm gonna go call everybody and what they say. Execute the knowledge that you have. Execute the knowledge that you have. But I understand on the other side why some of these other notaries are charging you $300-400, because if you're going to sit here and bug me, and that's what they're saying, you're going to sit here and bug me, keep calling me. I don't consider it being bugged, to be honest. I may sound irritated sometimes, but overall I don't. And then they're going, okay, well then you're gonna have to pay me if you're gonna keep calling me. Yeah, give me $300. Give me, and if some people are willing to pay $300 just to call somebody over and over and over and over again, but you still ain't going out and doing signings. You're still too scared. You're still unsure. And you still don't know how to notarize. And after all of that, you're no further than, you're at the same point that you were before you ever heard about this industry. Before you ever saw a YouTube infomercial, you're at the same level. I'll be honest, right now, after all of this time I've been on, if you're at the same level that you were before you got started, before you even heard about, something's wrong. Especially if you took all these other people's training and you're still there. So that's why I'm saying you got to do a course correction. With the course correction, it can take a little while to get back to where you need to be at. When a Navy ship does a course correction, it takes some time to turn that bad boy around. It takes some time. It takes some time. But you got to do the course correction to get back on track. And that's what I'm hoping y'all to do today. Hadn't meant to stay on this long, but y'all know how I do. Course correction. It's time to make a decision. What direction are you going to go? I will do all that I can to help you. I will do all that I can to help you. But you got to make a decision for yourself, and you got to do some parts for yourself in order for you to be successful. It feels good when you made a decision, when you reached out and researched and learned something, and then you can call somebody to confirm, hey, I just learned this, I just want to, I get that. I get that. But if you're trying to get hand spoon fed everything, so you don't have to do nothing, you're not going to be successful in this business. And go to the NNA, learn what they're teaching, execute. If you're going to do any kind of document presentation, go within the guidelines of the NNA, and you will be okay. Once you get that down pat, then you can go spend whatever hundreds of thousands of dollars to whoever you want to learn about the business side of it. That's where it's at, people. So I've been wanting to say this for a long time, and I just decided I'm just going to say it now. Again, I care for y'all. I want the best for y'all. The question is, do you want the best for you? Do you care for you? And are you going to do what you need to do? If you are, then you're going to be fine. Speaker at the end of their comment. Nah, they ain't gonna want me there. 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 Nah. I don't want anything that's gonna take me away from y'all. It's that simple. I don't want to do anything that's gonna take me away from y'all, because I understand the pain. I've been there, and I want the best for y'all. I want the best for y'all. And I don't care who likes me, who dislikes me, or whatever. I don't care what they think of me and all of that. I know, so it's pretty sure that I'm speaking good truth to y'all, good solid stuff. If I'm incorrect, I'm more than willing to be corrected. And anybody out there who does not like what I'm saying, let's do a video together. Let's hop online and do a video together. And boom. And I meant to say this earlier, and I know a lot of people ain't gonna be in at this point, but hey, I'm doing with the Abnormal Notary on Sunday. I'm doing an interview with her. She has me coming onto her show, doing an interview with her. I meant to mention it earlier and I forgot, because you know how I be getting in my little tangents. But the Abnormal Notary, look her up. She got me doing a interview with her. and everything on Sunday. I think it's at 11 o'clock in the morning Eastern time. So that's going to be that's going to be a good one and everything. But I just want the best for y'all. It's just that simple. I'm gonna do what I got to do to make the money for me. I'm not trying to make money off people. I'm going to make money from the quality things that I'm doing for the people who I come across. That's what I'm trying to do. All right. Best time to call me today is going to be between, actually after two, because the signing that I'm getting ready to go do now, I'm making $75 for doing 10 pages. Okay, for all of y'all who think, oh, don't take them, $75, 10 pages. So I should be done with them at 2:30. So call me anytime after 2:30, and I got another one at 6:30. All right, talk to y'all later. Peace.